So today is day 3 of the P. Diddy trial. And yesterday, myself and Attorney Griggs did a deep dive into what we thought was happening with the case and where it was going. And I'll use this word unfortunately, because it is quite unfortunate that at the time of that recording yesterday, I hadn't, we hadn't gotten all of the details in regards to the full testimony. I have since gotten some real intel from people inside the courtroom who actually spelled out all of what was said in that testimony, which didn't filter out to us until later on yesterday evening. And I know at the time of the recording yesterday, I had said, and I believe Attorney Griggs said as well, that we didn't see where the RICO charge, which was the major charge, we didn't see where that was being tied together based on all the sexual information that was divulged within Cassie's testimony. But now, having this new information, I could see exactly where the prosecution is going. She named people, staff members, and all types of other co-conspirators who helped put together these freak-offs. So without the proper information, one would come to the conclusion that all we're hearing and talking about is sex, but sex with control, sex with coercion. And one thing that I want you all to pay attention to is the Mann Act. The Mann Act is how all of this is based upon, right? These charges are based upon the Mann Act. What the Mann Act simply says is that if there are people coming into state or cross state lines for illicit purposes, that is considered a federal crime. And that's really all that the prosecution has to prove. So knowing and understanding what the Mann Act is clearly defines why the prosecution started out with Cassie and why they felt that the star witness would close the case at the very beginning. I didn't quite understand that yesterday, but as I stated earlier, we got more information later on that certainly let me see where the prosecution is going. So this is going to be a lot more interesting than not. But I do see the case a little bit differently as we got more information. So what is the moral of this story? Just like any responsible journalist, when you see information that you need to correct, you correct it, right? So what I'm going to do is make sure that I wait until the end of that testimony that day and wait later in the evening when I get more intel from people who we have in the courtroom and boots on the ground to give us the facts. Because it's hard to ascertain what's going on when people are in the courtroom and then have to run out, text you, or email you with notes, and you don't get the full gravity of what's happening in that room until you put it all together. So we didn't get that until like 9 or 10 o'clock last night. But let me tell you this trial is going to be crazy. There were some disgusting, despicable things that Cassie had alleged that have happened to her. And I can tell you, based on people that we had in the courtroom, that the way that the jury reacted to a lot of what she said, especially Black women and Black men who were looking dead at Diddy, just spot on looking at him. And sometimes, as Attorney Griggs spoke about yesterday, it's not even about guilt or innocent. It's about whether the jury likes you or not. And they could simply vote just based on that. And based on what I've heard about how people were looking at him like they were in total disgust, that could go a long way as it relates to a conviction. So again, we're going to recap this every night later on in the evening once all the details come in, because we want to make sure that we have everything factual. But at this point, my thought has changed as it relates to where this case stands. Stay tuned for more. Please like, share, and subscribe this video because, of course, you know that helps us grow the channel as well. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you later on this evening with some more details on the P. Diddy trial. Thanks for watching.